Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Natural Fails channel. I am Natural Fails, and I'm coming to you today to talk about something I'm very excited about in PlayerCore 2, and that is the Alchemist changes. Now, for a little backstory on why this in particular is so important to me, is because the Alchemist is the class that actually got me into Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Before I started playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I was primarily a D&D 5th Edition player. And I have reasons why I stopped wanting to play that system, but one of the big reasons that I wanted to play Pathfinder 2nd Edition was the existence of the alchemy class. I heard that Pathfinder 2nd Edition, it was part of the core rule book. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy the physical version. I'm gonna have that book and I'm gonna play the alchemist. I'm gonna convince my friends just so I can play an alchemist. And then Alchemist turned out to be one of the most complicated classes in Pathfinder 2nd Edition and very clunky. So unfortunately, I never got around to being able to actually play an Alchemist, but I have been waiting for the day that Paizo came and gave the Alchemist that love that it deserves, that little bit of fixing, that fine tuning that it needed, especially as the Alchemist was one of the most eroded classes. It has many changes that have happened over the years, these small erratas that have happened. One of the first ones that I remember was Alchemist did not used to get medium armor, and then Mutagen Alchemist really needed that because they wanted to be in melee and they were getting beaten up and couldn't boost up their strength, their dex, and their intelligence. And so they got that medium armor for those strength-based alchemists. But luckily, Player Core 2 has come and given the alchemist so much more love, so much more just playability, to be completely honest. So I'm going to be talking about the three biggest changes you need to know about The Alchemist and why you should be excited to roll one up yourself and get ready to craft some crazy science. Let's go ahead and get into those changes. First off, we're going to talk about the most boring of the three changes. I'll be honest, while it is important, it's the one that has the least implications for the class. But we're going to talk about the fact that Alchemist, now at level 15, gets mastery and bombs, unarmed attacks, and simple weapons. This is massive. The old Alchemist had this issue where if you wanted to be throwing out bombs, it was a lot easier to just give it to a regular marshal who would, one, be able to have their main attacking stat fully maxed out. If you did not know, the Alchemist is an intelligence-based class, so that means they cannot boost up their dex all the way compared to something like a fighter or a ranger. So they were already one step behind, and they never went past expert weapon proficiency. They were actually very similar to a caster. However, now you will get mastery in your bombs. You will no longer be just an item dispensary, handing those bombs off to your fighter or your barbarian or your ranger or your monk or literally anyone else. You will be the one wanting to throw them, along with the bomber getting some love here and there. But we'll leave that for another video once we actually, or more so when I actually am able to get my hands on this book. I am so excited. I cannot wait for August 1st. Now we're going to go ahead and go into the next change, Advanced Alchemy. So Advanced Alchemy is going to be basically replacing your ability to just create alchemical items at the beginning of the day. They completely reworked that alchemist ability, and now you get to very simply, instead of just having this massive pool that you had to split between your spontaneous and prepared materials. We'll talk a little bit about what happened to that spontaneous materials, but your prepared versions of your reagent pool is now Advanced Alchemy. And this is going to be very simple. It's 4 plus your int mod, and you will get that many alchemical items that are in your formula book and your level or lower every day. So at level 1, you're going to ideally have 8 alchemical items that you're going to just be able to throw whenever you need them. You're going to have that backup. If you know you're going to be preparing for something, you'll have those very specific alchemical items in your back pocket. Very simple, very clean, no longer this big headache on whether or not you want to spend your materials at the beginning of the day to get more alchemical items, or if you want to wait until later the day and while less cost effective, you would get what you needed immediately. Now they have completely split these two things, and you do not need to worry about trying to do this juggling act that the Alchemist was before. And now we get to the biggest change, the change I am most excited for: versatile vials. These replace the aspect of the reagent pool that would be your quick alchemy, your I have this number of reagents, I can, at the beginning of my turn, make this bomb that I needed on the fly and use it. Now you have something called your versatile vials. You get a number every day that is 2 plus your int mod. This is your maximum. You will regain 2 per 10 minutes. And this does not need to be something that you focus on. This is something that happens passively during exploration. So that means that you can heal someone and still get your versatile vials back. You can be shielding, right? Just exploring. You will get your versatile vials back. As long as there are a gap of maybe 30 minutes between one encounter and the other, no matter what you did during that time, you will have all your vials back at level 1. Very cool. But the question is what can you do with these vials? Well, let me go ahead and tell you about the new and improved Quick Alchemy. You can choose to do two things when you take the one action Quick Alchemy action. You can either create a consumable or you can use a quick vial. If you use create consumable, you basically get to pick any alchemical item that is in your formula book and is your level or lower. This item will last until the end of your next turn, and it can be anything. This will, however, cost 1 of your versatile vials. So that means if you need something desperately, you're like, oh no, this guy's weak to fire. I didn't have any alchemical fire, or what are they called? Editor, Menthu, please put it on screen right now. The fire one that I'm thinking of. You know what I'm talking about. Alchemist flame or something. I don't know. But I can whip that out of my pocket and I have it now. Or you can choose to do quick vial. Quick vial is a bomb that this is its base thing. It can do damage, or it can be an alchemical item that is given to you based on your subclass. This will last until the end of your turn, but it does not use your versatile vials, meaning you can use your quick vial version of Quick Alchemy every single turn, no matter what. And this is going to be really good depending on your subclass. Consider, for example, the bomber, who is going to be able to choose what kind of damage the bomb version of the quick vial is. So normally it is acid, but a bomber can choose between, I believe it is fire, cold, or electricity. You will be able to pick that damage and basically get a free alchemical bomb that you can use every turn. This was a huge problem with the Alchemist before, where you could run out of your resource, or you could run out of your resources in the middle of a fight. That is no longer an issue anymore. You can just keep throwing bombs all day long. And because they never use up those versatile vials, if you are the healer alchemist, which I'm not going to pretend I know how to pronounce the name of that subclass, the Charonist, I don't know. Menthu, put that on screen because I cannot say words to save my life. You can get a bunch of healing items. If you're a toxicologist, you can get a bunch of poisons. If you're a mutagenologist, you can probably get a bunch of mutagens, right? So you have a bunch of options that no longer make you tied to a resource. You have basically become the most versatile class in the game. So, with all that out of the way, I am so excited for this new class. Or not new class, but this remaster. PlayerCore 2 is looking to have so many great things. I am super excited to play an Alchemist now. And my question to you guys, do y'all want to play an Alchemist now? Am I the only one? Are y'all interested in actually playing this super underrated class now? Because I know I am. Go ahead, sound off in the comments. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this content. And at the very least, if you enjoyed this, you want to see more videos on uh, Pathfinder 2nd Edition or PlayerCore 2, please subscribe and hit that bell. That way you can get content from us and get notifications every time we pop up on the feed. And yeah, thank you so much for coming today and avoid those natural fails. I'll see you next time.